Okay, this is one of my favorite box arts here. A little bit of an odd choice because of particular car that it is, but it's just a fun box. It shows you both versions of the car. Just makes a neat little picture of what you're getting. So it kind of drew me to the car, and the Porsche 914 has always been one of my favorite vehicles. So this is why this is one of my favorites. Okay, here we go with one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of this show. I've watched all 15 seasons. This car has always been one of my favorites ever since I first saw it on the show. Baby, as it's called on the show, is just one of the coolest cars around. And when I saw this box with the picture of the car just sitting there in the mist, it just pulled me right in. As a huge fan of the show, this is exactly what you want to see on that. So this box is definitely one of my all-time favorites, just based on that front cover photo alone. Then when you look at the side panels of the box, it gives you a great profile shot, and then you get a shot of the characters from the show along with the car. This is just every Supernatural fan's perfect ideal of what a box art should be. Here we have one of my all-time favorite cars. This is the Testarossa from Miami Vice. This particular box art just pulls me right in also because it just brings me right back to when I was a kid, Friday nights, planted in front of the TV, waiting for the latest adventures of Sonny Crockett and Rico Tubbs in Miami. There were some good times and I love the show. Still watch it to this day, as a matter of fact. And that box where they have the picture of the car, it's a low slung sports car on the streets of Miami. This just brings all the memories back and is one of the reasons I really like that box art. This is another cool box from the golden age of TV, Starsky and Hutch. When I saw this box, I just was immediately fell in love with it. I mean, that car just sitting there, the city skyline, the colors, the two main characters. That's all I needed to see, and I had to scoop it right up. Even the sides of the box were great with pictures of the car and all the details. This was just a great kit and a great box to go with it. This box here has become one of my favorites. I recently found it and built this car last year, and I just thought it was just a neat looking picture of the Opel GT, which has always been one of my favorite cars. And just the car parked there, getting its windshield wiped down. The guy's about ready to tear off into the streets with it. I mean, I think that just the box looked great. And that's what really attracted me to the model. As a matter of fact, I was in the hobby shop when I found this. And I wasn't even looking for this car. I just looked around, and all of a sudden I see the colors on the box and I see the words Opel GT on the side. And then I can see the side panels on the box where I'm looking at all the pictures of the model and what is available with the kit. And then I just pulled it out, and the minute I saw that cover, I was hooked and I had to pick it up. I mean, just goes to show that the impact of the art on the box can guide you right toward your decision whether to pick a kit up or not. And that's exactly what it did for me on this car. Okay, here's one where maybe the box art was too good. I hated this kit, but I love the box. The way the car is pictured there, I mean, it just looks mean. And it's the Green Hornet, and I regret ever buying it. That's enough on this one. Here's another one where the art on the box is just what drove me to purchase a kit. When I looked at this cover, this is one of the cars that I've most admired for a very long time. I had some good times in it with some old friends back when I was younger, and we just had a blast with this thing. So, I mean, it just brought all those memories back, and it was just always one of my favorite sports cars. So when I saw this picture there of the car sitting there on the road, I mean, the colors, everything just kind of brought those memories back, and I thought, I have to have this one, and I have to build this one. And when I built it, I was so surprised at really how good of a kit this is. I mean, it just went together beautifully, and the detailing was spot on. I was really happy that I went with my gut and I decided just to dive in and pick that one up. Now, this one here was purchased solely based on the box art. I picked up this kit before I even knew anything about the character on it or the anime, just based on the way it looked on the box. That blue and white mecha just standing there, ready to go into battle. I mean, it was just something that about this image that just drew me in. It just goes to show the power of the art on the box can sometimes be a lot more powerful than the actual desire to buy the kit, as that's the only reason I bought it was because of this box art. As a matter of fact, after I bought the kit, I decided to research it. I found out what the anime show the kit was from, started watching it, and became a huge fan. So then again, there it is, a perfect example of how the box art can influence you in many ways that you don't even see coming. And it's just a fantastic way to get into new subject matter that you're not entirely familiar with. Now this one here, the Lotus Europa from Tamiya, I bought because I love the box. Ever since I saw the picture of the car on the box with the background, I mean, for some reason, I just fell in love with this box. And it helps that the car is also one of my favorite sports cars. But the true reason I bought this and that I was so drawn to it was based solely on the image that's on the box that you're looking at right now. It's just something about it that just sucked me right in. This is another example of how the box art is what guided my hand toward the purchase, even more than the kit itself. Now, as you all know, if you're regular viewers of my channel, I'm a huge fan of the Pontiac Fiero GT. I own two of them myself. So I would have picked this kit up regardless, but the image of the car on this box is a fantastic picture of the real car, something that I really like looking at, and if even if I didn't own the car, I probably would have picked it up based on this image alone. Here's another example of how the art drove the purchase for me. I was looking in the hobby shop, wasn't really particularly looking for this model, and then stumbled across it. And when I saw this painting, I just fell in love with the painting. It's just a beautiful shot of the car. Nothing special, guy's going around picking up his kids. I guess maybe the kids are getting off of school, and he just stopped by to pick them up. Just a regular everyday motion of the car, but it's just a great painting. Then when you get to the sides of the box, you got great photos of the finished model, which also helped to cement the decision to buy the car. So I haven't built this one yet. I haven't built any Moebius models yet, but hopefully I'll enjoy the build as much as I enjoyed looking at the box and at the images on the box. Art is a very powerful motivator, and when you see something you really like, I'm not saying it's the best piece of art in the world, but I really enjoyed it, and that's why I picked this one up. Now I grabbed this one because I just thought it was a cool picture of a really weird car. Didn't know anything about the car, never seen it before, but I saw that picture there. It says Super Spy Car with the gold wing doors, and I just thought it was like, very, very cool. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to pick this up and let's just see if it doesn't suck. So I'll let you guys know. We'll see it on the channel. AMT's put out a few cars that are using artist renditions of the vehicles as opposed to real pictures or pictures of the models. And sometimes those paintings are just really cool. I saw this one of this 63 Corvette and I thought, man, that just looks really neat. I recently built one for the small scale build and decided, you know what, I'm going to jump in and build one for the larger scales also. They used a similar art style for the 70 Camaro, and I just really, really like the box art. It's got a very retro feel to it, and just like the Corvette, it's got a pretty nice picture on the sides of the box of the car from different angles, and it just looks really cool. I know it's just marketing, but it worked on me because that's the only reason I bought these two. All right, now we're getting into one of my another non-car pick. What else can you say about this picture except that it is like one of the coolest images of a Gundam that I've seen. He's leaping into battle, has a beam saber out, he's ready to go on the attack. It is just one of the coolest boxes I've seen in a long time. Now this is an RX-78/2 model Gundam, and I've already got quite a few models of this particular mobile suit. But when I saw this box, I mean, just look at it. I mean, how much cooler is that than what you see here? Again, the artwork got me, and I just had to have it. Then when you look at the sides, you see all the Gundam action poses. Wow. All right, now I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and when I saw these two boxes here, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Not only are they two individual kits, but when you put them together, they make one large piece of art. And I just thought that was the really coolest idea that I've ever seen. Now, the thing is, I already had a model of the Enterprise and of the Reliant, respectively. But when I saw this combination box that they put out, and that you could put them together and have a picture of the famous Battle of the Mutara Nebula when you combine the two boxes together, I just had to go out and buy them again because that is a very cool display to have up. As you can see, they both link together, the ships firing on each other. I mean, that was a fantastic idea, and I really wish that they would do that more often. Give you multiple boxes that create one scene. Great idea. Now, this car I had already decided to pick up when I saw BG build it on his channel, as I thought it was just a really cool looking car and I wanted to give it a shot. But when I saw the box itself, and I saw, wow, how cool is that? Look at how mysterious this car looks on that box. Almost like a UFO or something. I mean, that box art really sold me on the kit. So even though I had already chosen to buy it, I thought that the box art would have sold me on it, even if it hadn't been something that I had already decided to get on my own. And then the side panels showing you all the different details of the kit. It's a really nice box. This one is from the anime Macross. Now, I've had this kit well over 30 years. I purchased it back in the anime craze of the 80s, and I really, really like this box art. I mean, it shows the Battloid in Jurorc form and fighter mode, and it just gives you an idea of what the show was all about. This particular box, I mean, I just like it because it's just a classic shot of the Space 1999 Eagle taking off from Moonbase Alpha. It's a classic shot. I mean, if you're a sci-fi fan, you'll know exactly what it is. And every time I look at this, it just brings me right back to watching Space 1999. And it's the reason I like it so much. This one here is another one that I bought only because I looked at that box art and I thought that is one badass looking car. I mean, the car just looks menacing, all in black, sitting there low to the ground, and then all the different images of the car. It is just badass. I mean, this is as cool can get for an 85 Oldsmobile. And I figured, you know what? I've got to build this car, and I've got to build it exactly the way it's pictured on this box. Because what is cooler than that? Now, one little oddity on this box is that on the side panel, it shows a car in white. Now, when you have the black one on the box, you're selling it as a concept car and just a mean Darth Vader's ride, why would you put a white one on there? Just a thought. This is another one where the box art sold me. I mean, just look at that box. The white car, the blue car, the screaming chicken in the background. It's just screams Pontiac to me. And everybody knows I'm a huge Pontiac fan. And this box is just cool. This was my entry into the second gen Firebirds. I've already got a third and a fourth. And now, if you look at the side panels, you can see it in both colors. I mean, it's just a cool car and one that's going to fill out the collection. Now it just need a first gen car. Anybody know if they make one? All right, now here we have the Tamiya Nissan 300ZX. This is one of my favorite Japanese sports cars. Now, this box art is kind of stark, as all you have is the 300ZX on a white background. I mean, it's classic Tamiya, and it's very Japanese, this box. But I really like it as it's just a nice, simple picture of the car. Then you have the side panels where you have the car in a different color. It just gives you what you need to know and nothing more, which is very much what I wanted from this kit. You know, I'm really interested in the car. That's it. And that's the kind of mood it puts me in when I look at this box. Even showing you the transparent hood that comes with it. It's just, this is what you're getting. Take it or leave it. You're probably going to take it and you're going to love it. This is what this box says to me. and I love it. This is a recent addition to my stash. As a matter of fact, I just got it last weekend. And let me tell you something, I love this box. I mean, just the picture of the Reliant, the USS Grissom coming at you. I mean, you see the ship in all its glory, and you know that that's not going to last if you've seen the movie. It's just an impressive looking box. I mean, you can see Captain Esteban there in the corner. Oh, no, or is that Kirk? I think it's Kirk in the corner there. And it's, like I said, it's just an impressive looking box. It's got pictures all around it on the back, everything showing you all the features of the ship. I really like this box and can't wait to get on this one. Here we have another example of the Stark Tamiya boxes, although this one's kind of cool that it's got the Italian flag colors underneath the car. But basically, it is all you need to know. It's a Ferrari Testarossa. It's there on the box. No fluff, no muss. Just a simple white background, which is what Tamiya is known for, except for a few of their models. And it just tells you all you need to know. This one, on the other hand, is just an amazing piece of art. I mean, the elegance in the car just comes through from the gull wing doors to the fenders to the way the wheels are tucked in, the front bumper, the lights. It's just a beautiful piece of art. And this is one of the reasons I was so attracted to this kit. I mean, it's beautiful. And the artwork here, you can see the reflection of the car on the ground. It's just a beautiful piece of work. This one here, I will admit, the only reason I picked it up is because that box just looks freaking cool. You see the Gundam there with its moon-shaped whatever that is behind it, the glowing eyes. It's just friggin' cool. That's it. Now this car I picked based on the box art. I was looking for a car to use for the cancer awareness build this past October. That build is on the channel if you want to check it out. And I hadn't decided what I was going to build until I walked in and I saw this box. And I just thought to myself, that is one of the coolest looking race cars I've ever seen. And that's where I decided, I'm using this for the cancer awareness build. After I built the car, I enjoyed that build so much I ran out and got another one. Funny thing is that the Revell of Germany box has a picture of the model on the box, which doesn't look anywhere near as good as what you see here when you look at the picture of the real car. As a matter of fact, the picture on the Revell of Germany box doesn't even look like a good representation of the model, as the tires the body sits a little too high on the tires due to an issue with the kit. When I built mine, I ran into the same problem where the front end sat a little too high. I figured out what was wrong with it, fixed it, and it's a beautiful kit after that. It's a very simple fix. So if you're interested and you want to build this kit, just you can follow my build. I go into exactly what I did. This is another build that I got just based on this box art. This box art is very reminiscent of what you'd see on a Tamiya kit. Basically a white background. But what you got here is a big friggin' mech with 4 cannons and 2 arms, which are missile launchers. Alright, now that is mean. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? I gotta pick this up. I bought this thing over 30 years ago. Never got around to building it, and now it's such a rare kit that I don't know if I will build it. But I love looking at the box art. And I mean, I would put this thing on my wall. It's just such a badass picture. And I could just keep looking at it over and over again. Now, I didn't know anything about this kit when I bought it. Found out later on that it's part of the Macross universe, even though it got very little screen time. But it's badass. The side of the box gives you some good views of it from the front, from the back, and then you get some pictures on the other side of the actual built model, which is pretty cool since the only thing you've seen up to that point is just the artwork on the box. And when you look at the model is just as cool as the artwork. I'm telling you, art, it sells. Now, last but not least, we get to my favorite box art of all time. These are the 1/350th scale versions of the Enterprise from the original series and the refit Enterprise. I looked at these boxes and I fell in love with the boxes, never mind the kits. The box art is just freaking fantastic. The one on the original series Enterprise with the Delta shield in the background with Kirk and Spock there, and the ship is coming out of going forward towards you. And then the Refit Enterprise, as it's just blasting off into space, you see the light reflecting off it. It just two beautiful boxes. I mean, the side panels, everything about these boxes is beautiful. They really put as much effort into the packaging as they did into the kit itself. And both kits are fantastic, let me tell you. And that's why these two are my favorite boxes of all time and hang in my house as art.